Okay, good morning. We left off on chapter 71 on the wild robot escapes. Chapter 71 is called The Observations. Sunlight sparkled off the skyline. New buildings were constructed. Old buildings were taken down. Cargo ships docked in the harbor. Delivery trucks unloaded crates. Bright signs flickered with advertisements. Robots worked behind the scenes. Children played in parks. Adults ate and drank at outdoor cafes. The city pulsed with energy. A wild robot observed it all. Chapter 72. The Police. A pair of police robots stood on the sidewalk while foot traffic glided past them. Their heads swiveled back and forth as they scanned the crowd with their glowing eyes. The police looked menacing, but they sounded friendly. Whenever a human walked by, they'd say, "Have a nice day," in a perky voice. There were a lot of humans walking by, so the police kept repeating their words. "Have a nice day, have a nice day, have a nice day." Our robot was not having a nice day. She was alone in the city. She was worried about her son, and she wanted nothing to do with the police, but she couldn't avoid them. If she turned suddenly, she might draw their attention. So she kept her eyes forward and calmly marched along with the other robots on the street. Roz may have looked calm on the outside, but on the inside, her thoughts were scrambled. Were the police dangerous? Did they work with the Ricos? Was she about to be caught? It seemed as if the police were watching Roz. Their eyes lingered on her for a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then they continued scanning the crowd. Our robot felt something like relief when she made it past without incident. She went on her way, just another robot on the street, and those perky voices gradually faded behind her. "Have a nice day, have a nice day, have a nice day." Chapter 73. The Pigeons. In the very heart of the city was a great swath of greenery, the old park. It had rolling lawns and flower gardens and dense wooded areas. It had lakes and ponds and fountains. It had playgrounds and benches and miles of cobblestone pathways. It also had pigeons, thousands and thousands of pigeons. The city pigeons witnessed things you wouldn't believe. Nothing shocked them. They certainly weren't shocked by robots. So when Roz marched into the middle of the park, the pigeons there weren't troubled in the least. She approached a flock that was about 100 birds strong, all cooing and strutting across the cobblestones as if they owned the place. But as Roz stomped closer and closer, the pigeons scuttled out of the way to let her pass by. However, Roz didn't pass by. She stopped and glanced around, and when she saw that she was alone with the pigeons, she started speaking to them in the language of the animals. "Hello, pigeons, my name is Roz." The pigeons cocked their heads, which meant, "Is this robot actually speaking to us?" "Yes, I am actually speaking to you," continued Roz. "I am searching for my son. He is a goose named Brightbill. Have you seen him?" For the first time in a long time, the pigeons were shocked. Several of them fluttered away from the talking robot, but most were too curious to leave. One pigeon was so curious that she strutted out from the flock and right up to the robot. "Let me get this straight," said the curious pigeon. "Your name is Roz, and you've got a son named Brightbill who's a goose?" "That is correct." "I can't believe it." The pigeon flapped her wings and turned to the others. "You guys, this is Roz from Graybeak Stories. Remember?" The flock began cooing excitedly. "You have heard of Graybeak," said Roz. "Everyone's heard of Graybeak," said the pigeon. "A while back she started telling stories about a goose whose mother was some kind of wild robot. We all thought she was joking, but I guess not." "She was not joking," said Roz, "but I have lost my son, and I do not know how to find him. Perhaps Graybeak could help. Do you know where she is?" We're going to end there. Oh, I thought that was the end of the chapter. We'll end after this chapter, excuse me. I hate to tell you this, Roz, but Graybeak is dead. The birds all lowered their heads. You know, life ain't easy for us pigeons. We only live a few years out here, if we're lucky. But we were especially sad when we lost Graybeak. She was one of the best. The others cooed in agreement. I am sorry for your loss, said Roz. I wish I had gotten to meet Graybeak. My son was very fond of her. The pigeon gazed up at the robot with a steely look in her eye. Any friend of Graybeak is a friend of ours. If Brightbill is lost, we're going to find him. She turned to the others. You heard me, flock. Hit the skies and tell every pigeon you see to start searching for a goose named Brightbill. At those words, the flock erupted into flight. Only the robot and the curious pigeon remained. By the way, they call me Strutter, said the pigeon, fluffing out her chest feathers. It is very nice to meet you, Strutter, said the robot. Thank you for searching for Brightbill. What can I do to help? You can help by staying put. I want you in this park when we return with your son. Don't hide or wander off and make us go searching for you too. Oh, and another thing, Strutter added. Stay away from the park ranger robot. He spends most of his time taking care of the grounds, but he's always on the lookout for troublemakers. The pigeons gave a quick salute to the robot. Then she joined the search for Brightbill. Okay, we're going to end there.